Alright, so Luocha will be the newest 5-star abundance character, dropping in the second half of version 1.1 for Honkai Star Rail, which is about a week after this video goes live, I think. His abilities allow him to remove debuffs from allies, as well as stripping buffs from the enemy, something that's only been exclusive to Pela. Unless you want to count using the Battle Pass Hunt Light Cone as an option, then that's also there, which makes Luocha's value pretty high due to this, in my opinion. Now, in this video, I want to cover his banner overview, including the 4 stars, briefly mention his abilities and use case scenarios, possibly even team comps, and what I overall think of Luocha's pull value, depending on what type of player you are, which characters you currently own. Of course, my full in-depth guide of Luocha should be dropping after his banner is officially live, so do be on the lookout for that if you're more interested. Okay, so let's dive into his abilities and explain what makes him so unique. Starting with the skill ability, he is able to heal an ally while simultaneously removing a debuff, also gaining 1 stack of something called Abyss Flower in the process. His ultimate allows him to dish out damage to all enemies while removing one of their buffs, and for every enemy buff removed, he will also be gaining an additional stack of Abyss Flower. Now, once Luocha is at 2 stacks of Abyss Flower, he will be deploying a field against the enemies, and whenever an ally attacks said enemy, they will be able to self-heal, essentially making your allies obtain lifesteal for a couple of turns. There's also an additional trace for Luocha where if an ally somehow falls below 50% health, then his skill will automatically activate free of charge, which means no skill points required, and you're able to gain this passive back every couple of turns for Luocha. This is especially huge because it means you're able to focus more on damage dealing rather than focusing on healing, and you're saving some skill points in the long run. Now, speaking of dealing damage, I forgot to mention that Luocha's healing scales off of his max attack. Yeah, that's right. You'll want to build attack percent on him to maximize his healing potential, meaning the Musketeer relic set may be the best for him at this moment. Now, this can be viewed in a negative or positive light depending on how you want to look at it. So on one side, that means more damage on your team, which is great because he's just going to keep doing his basic attack and doing more damage. But this could also mean he's more prone to dying to the enemy due to not scaling off of HP. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comment section. I've heard a lot of people were kind of in and out about how they feel about that situation. I want to know your thoughts down below. All right, so let's move over to his banner overview really briefly. Now, the 4 stars on his banner are Pela, Qingque, and Yukong, who will be free in version 1.2, keep that in mind. Pela's Eidolons are pretty good, especially at E2, allowing her to increase her own speed by 10% for 2 turns, and her E4, which reduces the enemy's ice resistance, meaning any Yanqing mains out there or any future ice DPS will especially love to have a Pela on their team. Moving over to Qingque here, she is our free 4-star quantum character, which if you don't have a quantum DPS because you ended up skipping on the Zila banner, she can perform exceptionally well, especially if you're able to obtain more Eidolons for her. Her E1, pretty much more damage on her ultimate, 10%. Her E4 also allows her to do a follow-up damage, 24% fixed chance, but 100% quantum damage or equal to for the previous basic attack. So if you're able to get some Eidolons on her, I believe she can be a phenomenal erudition quantum character that you can bring into your team comp if you are looking for a quantum damage dealer. And lastly, we have Yukong, who is the newest imaginary harmony character who is able to provide crit and crit damage buffs to your entire team. Now, once again, I want to say, keep in mind, Yukong will be free during version 1.2. So if you end up being unlucky and you don't end up getting her off of the character banner, I would recommend not chasing after the 4-star. I've seen way too many people go hundreds of wishes in without getting the 4-star they've wanted, myself included. All right, it's a painful mess. Please spare yourself the trouble. She will be free in version 1.2. Do remember that. Okay. So, last but not least, I want to bring up the current Memory of Chaos and how it's tailored perfectly for Luocha's release. So, as you guys may be aware, Honkai Star Rail has introduced a bunch of these Mara-struck enemies who are able to revive themselves, as well as the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, who are able to heal themselves. With Luocha, you're able to remove these buffs from the enemy thanks to his ultimate skill, as well as cleansing the wind shear debuffs that they will be placing on your teammates thanks to his skill ability, making Luocha a perfect character to obtain for this Memory of Chaos. There are a few things to keep in mind here though, so if you guys are new to Horioverse games and how these hard endgame content things work, then it's basically like this. The Memory of Chaos will always be changing in terms of the buff it provides, aka the memory turbulence you see right here, and in terms of the enemy lineups. Memory of Chaos is quite literally just one huge way to advertise current character banners to push more sales and make you want to roll for these characters to accommodate for the painful enemies you'll be facing. This is why most of the enemies in Memory of Chaos, as you can see, are weak to imaginary. We have imaginary there, we have imaginary here, pretty sure Kafka as well, imaginary. This is why most of them are going to be imaginary based and quantum, or weak to quantum and weak to imaginary damage. If you do remember the Memory of Chaos in the last update, version 1.0, the buff for that Memory of Chaos was catered around hunt and erudition characters. Why? I wonder what banners were there in version 1.1 or 1.0. Zila, who's a hunt character, and Jingyuan, who is an erudition character. So the memory turbulence was catering around hunt and erudition, basically to provide more sales for those two characters. Now, next update in version 1.2 will be Destruction, which is for Blade, and Kafka, who is a Nihility character. So we can definitely expect Memory of Chaos will be following suit and changing the Memory of Chaos to reflect Destruction and Nihility characters, as well as wind and lightning enemies for both of them. Now, I want to slow things down really quick, because if Memory of Chaos isn't in your line of sight and you don't care about it, then you'll probably be able to do without a second healer, as all the other content currently in Honkai Star Rail revolves around just one team, and that one team consists of just 4 characters. Don't forget, Natasha, you end up getting Natasha, who's a free 4-star abundance character early in the game, so you should be good with just her. So if you don't want to grind out Memory of Chaos, or if you already have like a Bailu or say a Japard, I could see that you might be able to get by without rolling for Luocha if you are kind of on the fence on whether you want to roll for him or not. So just to put this into quick perspective right now for reference, I currently don't own 2 healers. I am using Japard as my man to hold down the fort on one team, aka my team comp is most likely looking like that, and my second team comp is most likely looking like that, with Natasha on the second half for the heal, Fire main character for the shield, and Japard kind of working solo. So I've been able to clear up to stage 9 for the current Memory of Chaos, and hell, I've been also able to clear this first half of Memory of Chaos. I've made it to the second half. Unfortunately, we did end up getting like one tapped. My Tingyun, I don't know why, she always wants to be the center of attention. My preservation character is basically non-existent with her on the team. We all have been there. But I just wanted to put this into perspective that, remember, my Japard's not even level 80 yet. He's level 70. These guys are damn near 20 levels above my Japard. I have not hit TL 60 yet, so I'm not able to actually ascend him. I will be ascending him when I do hit level 60, Equilibrium 5. I'm just not there yet, which will give us a huge damage increase in terms of not just character level, but also light cones and more bonus traces that I'm able to unlock, like this as well, etc., making him, or his survivability, a hell of a lot higher and tankier. So I just wanted to put all that into perspective, let you guys see what I'm working with and how I'm getting by with just one healer. And if you guys are in a similar situation, maybe you have Bailu, maybe you have Japard, maybe you're thinking and saying, oh wait, if Envy's able to clear stage 9 while under leveled with his Japard, no other healer, maybe I don't need Luocha after all, you know? Maybe I don't. I just want to throw that out there so you guys are able to make a more confident decision on Luocha, depending on your situation, depending on your preference, depending on your goals and what you're doing in Genshin or Honkai Star Rail, and of course what characters you are owning in the game. And I want to say that about wraps up this Luocha discussion, I believe. At the end of the day, the decision to roll for Luocha is always going to come down to you. I believe he will still be an exceptional character, even though he scales off attack, and also a great asset to any team comp if you're looking to go Oonga Boonga against the enemy. Now, I do hope that this video has lightened up some views for players and help you guys make a more confident decision when his banner does drop in Honkai Star Rail. I do wish you guys the best of luck for those who are summoning on Luocha. Expect a full Luocha guide video releasing sometime after his banner drops. And if you guys do have any more questions for me, feel free to leave them down in the comments section down below. Or if I don't end up getting to you guys, join us over on Twitch. I stream daily. I play Honkai Star Rail every single day. If you guys want to pop in and ask me any kinds of questions, I'm more than happy to reply. We have a Discord server as well, all that good stuff. But I thank you guys very much for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.